house is on fire. Wait. No, it's just October. That's right, boils and ghouls, the Halloween season is upon us. So what better way to celebrate but to talk about the top 10 Halloween movies. Now, the criteria for these movies are not what you might expect. This is not a top 10 list of the Halloween movies from the Halloween franchise started by John Carpenter. These are the top 10 movies that best embody the spirit of Halloween itself. So that means we're going to be looking at movies that take place on or around Halloween and focus on Halloween themes. So let's dive right on in. Number 10, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I know what you're thinking. How can a movie that's set in a place called Halloween Town, where they count down to Halloween every year, be so low on the list?
Well, there is a good reason. In the movie, Jack Skellington gets bored of Halloween and discovers Christmas Town. He then spends the rest of the movie trying to move away from Halloween traditions and adopt Christmas ones instead. This shift is the main reason it lost points. In doing so, it makes the movie feel more like a Christmas movie. Some people argue that it's both, but there's a reason why it gets played more on TV during Christmas than on Halloween. It's still a nice movie to watch for either holiday, but there are better movies to watch for Halloween.
Number 9, Ernest Scared Stupid. What can be said about Ernest? You either love him or you hate him, and this installment in the series is no exception to that.
Most people prefer Ernest Goes to Camp, but Ernest Scared Stupid also has its moments, even though it's one of the weaker entries in the franchise. It's family-friendly, but still has a few minor scares. If it's gore you're looking for, you won't find it here. However, some of the clown costumes from Killer Clowns from Outer Space have been reused as troll costumes, so keep an eye out for that. Pour yourself a glass of Miak and enjoy a blue-collared, slapstick-filled romp.
Number 8, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Everyone's a fan of Bing Crosby, right? You should be.
He narrates this classic Disney animation about the tale of Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. This short animation has some beautiful artwork that really captures the color palette of the season, as well as some truly creepy moments. Sadly, it oftentimes gets eclipsed by the more popular Disney features, but The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is perfect to watch as you carve a jack-o'-lantern. It's also another family-friendly entry on the list.
Number 7, Hocus Pocus. Another Disney entry on the list, but this time a full-length live-action entry.
Hocus Pocus is admittedly another family-friendly feature, but it does have some pretty dark moments when you think about it. Take the very beginning of the movie for instance. The witches capture a little girl, suck the life out of her with a spell, and turn her brother into a black cat where he's stuck for 300 years. That's rough. While the focus of the movie is mostly on the antics of the three witches in the modern world, it does do a good job of acknowledging the witch trials of the past. In addition to all of that, the witches also use an Edgar Allan Poe poem as the haunting lullaby that lures children into their grasp. So I have to give them points for that. I know a lot of people joke about Sarah Jessica Parker's looks, but I gotta admit, she's pretty hot in this.
Number 6, it's The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. This short and sweet Peanuts TV special has been a staple for Halloween traditions for many people for many decades. And that's because they show it just about every Halloween.
I think I've finally figured out why it's had such an impact over the years. Most of the major holidays have a singular figurehead that they're identified with. Christmas has Santa Claus, Easter has the Easter Bunny, but Halloween doesn't really have a single identifying icon. So when Linus tries to tell everyone about the Great Pumpkin, he's trying to put the holiday on par with the others. Even though Halloween stands on its own with a collection of icons, you still have to commend Linus for having so much conviction toward the holiday.
Number 5, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Let's face it, this list would have been a lot easier to compile had I just decided to throw all of the movies from the Halloween franchise onto it. But I like a challenge.
The Halloween series started strong with John Carpenter's original low-budget masterpiece. Everyone loved it. In fact, it performed so well that there was immense pressure for a sequel. However, John Carpenter originally wanted the series to be more of an anthology of movies that revolved around events that occurred on Halloween night. So when it came time to write the sequel, Carpenter reluctantly wrote another film about Michael Myers, this time taking place in a hospital. It was a decent sequel, but nowhere near as well received as the first movie. When it came time to make Halloween 3, Carpenter's original plan for the series was finally put into motion, and people hated it. By this time, the series was already set on Michael Myers, and the omission of him in the third installment really rubbed people the wrong way. But we'll get into that another time. Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers is the most appropriate title for this film. Michael Myers is back to satisfy the fans of the series. As far as sequels go, this one really is a great one. It carries the same spirit as the original, but in its own right. Maybe the reason for this is because the series was trying to recover from the impact of Halloween 3, so it wasn't as much about making money as it was about reclaiming the reputation. Either way, it's a fantastic addition to the franchise that just screams Halloween.
Number 4, Halloween. Okay. Let it all out. Let it all out. I'll give you a moment.
I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with Halloween not being in the number 1 position on this list. But you know what? I know where you're coming from, and I have good reasons for not having this movie higher on the list. It's very true that this movie is one of the most iconic movies about Halloween ever made. It's got the fall foliage, it's got jack-o'-lanterns, it's got trick-or-treating, but mainly it has Michael Myers. And that's the reason I placed it at number 4. While the setting is very Halloween, the focus of the film is Michael Myers and his killing spree. Don't get me wrong, Halloween is one of my favorite films, and if this list were about slasher movies, it would definitely take the number 1 position. But since it's not, there are a few other movies that I think should rank higher.
Number 3, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. Okay, if you weren't pissed about Halloween only ranking at number 4, I'm sure you will be with Halloween 3 ranking higher on the list than it did. But bear with me, I do have a good reason for it.
Widely regarded as the black sheep of the Halloween franchise, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch is almost universally panned by fans of the series due to its complete lack of Michael Myers. It's really a shame though, because once you get past that, it truly is a great Halloween movie. Maybe it would help viewers if it were only titled Season of the Witch. It would definitely be better than that Nicolas Cage movie. At any rate, this movie is a powerhouse of a horror film. It focuses much more on specific aspects of the holiday, such as the masks used by trick-or-treaters and what one corrupt company is planning to do with them. Tom Atkins is the only hope to stop the evil plans of Silver Shamrock, and the ending of the movie is one that truly stands out. It dives deeper into the origins of Halloween and sheds some light on the pagan practices that are often overshadowed by more modern Halloween traditions. This one will most likely be a hard sell for many viewers, so the only thing I can really recommend is to watch it with an open mind and don't look at it like it's a sequel in the Halloween franchise.
Number 2, Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is the type of movie that John Carpenter originally tried to make the Halloween franchise into.
In this fairly recent anthology film, the stories of several different intertwining events are told. While it does deal in many familiar Halloween themes, it also offers up some new twists that you probably won't expect on first viewing. In a time when Hollywood is more than satisfied with churning out remakes and the same old tired tripe, it truly is a breath of fresh air to get something as original and entertaining as Trick or Treat. I know that it's still a fairly new entry into the Halloween-themed genre, but I can't recommend it enough.
Number 1, The Halloween Tree. One of the most underrated Halloween-themed productions, The Halloween Tree takes the number 1 spot on this list.
This animated movie by Hanna-Barbera is the result of a story of the same name written by Ray Bradbury. In fact, Ray Bradbury narrated the cartoon himself. The movie is both entertaining and surprisingly educational, as it tells the origins of Halloween over time and through many different cultures. It's about a group of trick-or-treating kids who discover that one of their friends is dying, and with the help of a ghoulish figure voiced by the late Leonard Nimoy, they chase his spirit through time and space. When they finally catch him, the kids all agree to sacrifice some of their time so that their friend can live longer. It's really a touching story, which is also informative for any viewer of any age. Perhaps the reason why it's so underrated is because many people don't know about it. It was originally a TV movie that aired on Cartoon Network and was later released on VHS. Unfortunately, it didn't receive an official DVD release until 2012, so the only way to watch it before then was either by the rare VHS release or by a bootleg DVD, which was just a transfer of the VHS release. I was fortunate enough to watch it as a kid when my dad taped it off of TV during its original airing, and years later I actually bought a bootleg DVD of it. But now that it has an official release, even if it is just a bare-bones DVD, I strongly recommend at least one viewing of The Halloween Tree. It is, in my eyes, the ultimate Halloween-themed movie.
Well, there you have it, the top 10 Halloween movies. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What movies would you have added to the list instead? Let's hear them. Make some comments down here. Get some thumbs up or some thumbs down. Don't do that actually, no. But comment for sure. And which movies were your favorite? Which movies should have been discussed that were overlooked? Because there are a lot of movies that are based on Halloween. Actually, no, there's not. That's why this list was kind of challenging, because it was more about ordering them than actually figuring out which movies should go on the list. I'm Joe from the Wrong Channel. Thank you for watching, and have a happy and safe Halloween. And get out there and do some tricks or treats. Huh! Well then, I guess my house really was on fire.